So these are our advanced research students, and they have prepared what we call an elevator talk. So basically, if someone were to say to them as they're waiting for an elevator, "Oh, what did you do this summer for your research?" This is the students have the time it takes for an elevator to reach the floor that they're on to the floor they're going to, and tell them what they've done in terms that anyone could understand. These are our students who have done research in the summer between their junior and senior year, and now they're in their senior year, and they are taking a course with me about advanced research methods.
I looked at cells from rat aorta. On some of them we put some cigarette smoke extract. We're pretty sure that smoking is a huge factor for something called abdominal aortic aneurysms.
I was working in the neuropsychology department of U of M, and for my project I looked at the change in apathy and depression, or to see if there was a change in apathy and depression for Parkinson's patients before and after deep brain stimulation.
Specifically, I was looking at the degradation of dyes, which methylene blue was the particular dye I was looking at. The project that I'm working on could develop a material that uses sunlight to break down those dyes and other organic pollutants.
Right.
So this summer I worked with deep brain stimulation, which is a surgery where they put electrodes into the brain to help out with essential tremor and Parkinson's disease. And now instead of having like half an hour of being completely functional, you can have like an hour.
So this summer I had the opportunity to work at the Michigan Autonomous Aerial Vehicles team. My research now is working on analyzing a number of these softwares and trying to figure out which one is most efficient and fastest and best suited for different applications.
Our present engine technology is not as efficient or environmentally friendly as it could be. My objective over the summer was to study the isomerization and speciation of a molecule called hexene.
I worked in the University of Michigan Institute for Social Research, and specifically in the Life Course Development Bay. And the research they were conducting, which I assisted with, was studying the link between physical health and your social relationships.
So this summer I worked in the COTOV lab at U of M, and the basis of that lab's research is working with Kevlar. Put a Kevlar film into a battery instead of what they currently use, because the Kevlar film is higher heat resistant and it's also more highly conductive.
So for my project specifically, I was working with aqueous two-phase systems and a DEX-PEG system, which means dextran, which is DEX, and polyethylene glycol, which is PEG.
I did research, data entry, and I also sat in on some therapy sessions at the University of Michigan aphasia program. And what aphasia is the aftermath of a stroke, which can cause deficiency in communication skills. I wanted to compare the caregiver burden between aphasia patients and Alzheimer patients.
Over the summer, I worked in a materials science lab and wrote software to help them sort of analyze their experiments. I wrote a program that allowed them to freely manipulate the orientations and distance between a pair of nanoparticles.
So this past summer, I was working in a biomedical research lab at the University of Michigan, and I was studying drug delivery systems for patients with Crohn's disease. And so my project was involving identifying and then also treating Crohn's disease.
So over the summer I worked in gastroenterology at the BSRB, and I specifically worked with intestinal stem cells using immunohistochemistry. The lab specializes in a transcription factor called ZBP89. If you can find out more about the function of ZBP89, you can help to cure those diseases that arise from abnormalities.
These are students who are really interested in doing research and getting some real life experience before they even go out into their post-secondary education. Ideally, they would learn that this is something that they're absolutely passionate about, and it would just further fuel their passion for scientific research.